I'll continue here, but I'll read back a little bit. Yeah, I'd like to read back a little bit because I changed something here. I added something. Yeah. Oh, need to go back way back, looks like. Okay. Oh, maybe not that far back. Okay. Oh, okay. Here it is. Okay. All right. Okay, I guess it is. Yeah. Okay. Daniel took out of his pocket another data card and said, "Get ready to replace it with this one." He then picked up the CB and asked, "Where does it say in the Quran that Muhammad split the moon in two?" I've seen a Muslim video trying to explain this, but it sounded like the moon, if it was split in two, occurred not in Muhammad's time. And if it did, how come no one recorded it being split in Muhammad's time? I thought the, quote, hour has drawn near, unquote, dealt with the judgment, dealt with Judgment Day. Is that when Muhammad does this miracle? There was silence. Daniel went on and said, "Even if Muhammad does split the moon in two, like you want, so Mo will have something in common with Moses to show Deuteronomy is talking about Mo. Well, doesn't the Quran say? Yeah, doesn't the Quran say Muhammad didn't perform miracles? Doesn't the Quran say Muhammad performed no signs and wonders? That Allah quit with the signs because a people called the Talmud treated Allah's she-camel wrongly? If so, which are we to believe? The clear signs, Quran, about the she-camel incident, or the Hadith? Which are we to believe? As the silence from the Muslim continued, Daniel then said, with Jesus and Moses, they performed miracles. They were both Israelis. They both demanded sacrifice of innocents for the remission of sins. Moses with innocent animals, and Jesus with his innocent self. Oh, and again, they performed miracles. Did Muhammad actually perform miracles according to the Quran? Remember the she-camel incident. If he split the moon in two, does Quran 54, 1 through 2, really say he did it? I'm waiting. After a pause, a voice said, "Quran doesn't say that the Prophet Muhammad didn't perform miracles. It just says that if someone wants a miracle to believe that Muhammad is the Prophet, then the Quran is sufficient. Everyone who reads the life of Muhammad, praise be unto him, knows that he performed miracles." How is the Quran a miracle? Asked Daniel. How is it a miracle when it has so many things that are false in it? You really think ants would know who King Solomon was and care about getting stepped on him stepped on him and his troops? That's in the Quran. Not only that, but again, the Quran tells persons of the book that they have no ground to stand upon unless they stand firm upon the Injil, 568. And Muslims believe the Quran and Injil are corrupted. Also, Quran 1094 tells Muslims to go to those who have read the before scriptures, Bible, if they are in doubt about the Quran. And you Muslims believe the Bible is corrupted, and the Quran says it's a confirmation and reminder of that which before it. Again, the Bible. And again, you Muslims believe the Bible is corrupted. So, how can the Quran be a miracle when it has so many stupid scriptures in it like that? How? What's this about ants knowing about who King Solomon was? Yeah. What's this about ants knowing about who King Solomon was? Asked the voice over the CB. Daniel and Sully heard grumbling in Arabic. They couldn't understand. The question was completely ignored. A voice then shouted, "Oh, there is the miracle of the flying donkey ride. Muhammad took to Jerusalem to visit the temple and the mosque before going up into heaven and meeting Prophet Isa. And Quran 17:1 says he did." There were gasps heard. over the CB from the Muslims, gasps that Daniel took as a hopeful sign. Daniel was going to gleefully question them about the flying donkey ride the Sahih correct hadith told of, but the Muslims quickly shouted in Arabic to shut off the CB. The Muslim who shut off the CB turned to the Muslim who brought up the flying donkey and said in Arabic, "Brother Abdullah, don't bring up the flying donkey ride with this loser, for he will take off and run with it. It will be over for us. It will be over for us." Sitting on the top bunk of the Kenworth, the Muslim who brought up the flying donkey ride said, "But, Brother Ahmed, the Sahih Hadith report Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give a blessing, riding on the winged donkey Barak to Jerusalem in a journey by night. Even Quran alludes to it in Surah 17:1. If Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, didn't take the flying donkey ride, we wouldn't be Sunnis now, being that we Sunnis are to believe the Sahih Hadith for certain. Sahih means correct, brother. Sahih means authentic. Means sound. Are you saying there is no problem with believing? Are you saying there is a problem with believing Muhammad? May Allah pray on him and give him blessing. Saying this, brother? You think Allah's apostle, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, was lying in his saying he took such a ride into heaven on such an angelic creature that only had a large donkey body, not an actual donkey with wings, but a different kind of animal with wings, an angelic animal? The Muslim who turned off the CB said in Arabic, "I thought Aisha said he never left his bed, Abdullah, thus making it only a dream. It would have to be a dream, because in the night journey, Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, said that when he flew the flying donkey-like creature into Jerusalem, he visited both the temple of Solomon and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. But in the time of Allah's apostle, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, neither of those structures were existing. As a matter of fact, they never existed at the same time in history, period." "They didn't?" asked the driver, suddenly feeling sick to his stomach on hearing that. Ahmed went on with, "They didn't. So to me, that sounds like Aisha was being truthful, and that it was a dream. That is hadith we can believe in. I mean, if we tell the cover pig it wasn't a dream, he will rub our noses in this big time, brothers. He will think we're incredibly stupid and brainwashed for damn sure. How can he not, if we believe an actual sweating and nervous creature called the Barak actually took Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, to Jerusalem, even if that hadith made no mention of the two structures we know didn't exist at the same time? He will laugh at us, brothers. Laugh at us. Let's stick with the hadith telling of Aisha's account only with him, okay? That is hadith we can believe in." As the Muslim named Ahmed in the passenger seat started getting into a heated word exchange with the Muslim named Abdullah in the top bunk, the Muslim who was shot in the upper part of the chest gasped out from the bottom bunk with, "If Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, didn't take such a ride on such a winged creature as the Barak, the flying donkey, does that mean it was a dream also that a rock would steal and run off with Muhammad's, may Allah pray on him and give him blessings, clothes?" On hearing that, the driver of the rig cringed again, looking as if he had been shot. The driver asked, "What? Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, said a rock ran off with his clothes? Please don't tell me he said that. Please don't tell me he said that. Please don't tell me that." Abdullah on the bunk said, "It wasn't a dream. It was a miracle, brother. It's proof that Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, did have a miracle, and proof that he has something in common with Moses, like Deuteronomy says he did." The driver shouted angrily, "You idiot! The rock didn't run off with Muhammad. May Allah pray on him. May Allah pray on him and give him blessings. Close. The rock ran off with Moses' clothes. Didn't you listen? It ran off with Moses' clothes, not Muhammad's. May Allah pray and give him a blessing. It ran off with Moses'. It was another miracle with Moses, not Muhammad. May Allah pray and give him blessing. Moses is the one that happened with. And it wasn't even a miracle from Moses, but a miracle from Allah, since Moses would chase angrily naked after the rock to get his clothes back from the running rock. Man, are you dumb? It only happened to Moses, not Muhammad. May Allah pray and give him blessing. Damn, I've heard that story before. I didn't want to believe it, but it does say that in the hadiths that are sahih. Damn. The Muslim in the lower bunk gritted his teeth through the pain and asked, does Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, have anything in common with Moses? So a rock didn't steal his robe while he was bathing, making Muhammad angrily run naked after it, letting Muslims see that if he had no problem with his genitals, like the hadith has Muhammad saying what had happened with Moses and the rock? Only Moses, shouted the driver, looking a mixture of sad and angry. Only Moses. The Muslim named Ahmed sat dumbfounded in the passenger seat. The Muslim named Ahmed sat dumbfounded in the passenger seat on hearing about Muhammad saying a rock ran off with Moses' clothes. Why are you so shocked, brother? Asked Abdullah from the top bunk. Ahmed then looked up at Abdullah and said with a stunned look in his eyes, that had to be a dream, brother. Don't you think? A dream like the flying donkey, don't you think? The Muslim in the bottom bunk suddenly looked disturbed and said, it doesn't bother me what the hadith says. I only care about what Quran says. But there is Quran 71. That doesn't make sense if Muhammad, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, didn't take a flying donkey ride. And there is a passage in Quran about ants talking with Solomon, and Solomon able to understand them. Are you going to become a Qurani, brother? Abdullah asked, looking over the edge of the bunk, concern in his eyes. Are you no longer a Sunni who has to believe in Sunnah? Are you a heretic now? You no longer believe in Hadith? You are now Quran only? Is that it, huh? You mean I got shot for nothing? Isn't my being shot proof to you that my faith in Allah is strong? Shouted the Muslim on the bottom bunk with pain from being shot, along with feeling depressed that it probably was all for nothing that he got shot. He hoped that by asking such a question, it would keep them from thinking he was out from Islam and deserved death. Qurani is a word the Christian Prince 3 came up with, brother, said the Muslim in the driver's seat. Have you been watching his videos? Abdullah, fearing that his faith was being questioned, shouted back at the driver, all of us have seen his videos. What are you getting at? The driver, looking forward at the back of Daniel's trailer, said, that you may now be out of Islam? No, I'm not out of Islam, shouted Abdullah with fear. You know me. I am more pious than you, I bet. The Muslim in the passenger seat then said with a look of depression in his eyes, we Sunnis are supposed to believe this about talking ants with Solomon and Solomon talking back, aren't we? Because it's Quran. But we don't have to believe in Moses running off at the rock now, do we? The driver at the rig said, I'm afraid we do, brother. I'm afraid we do. Oh no, said Ahmed in the passenger seat. Why? The driver said, it's coming back to me. In a video by Christian Prince 3, he talked about a scripture in Quran that seems to allude to it. Seems to? Ha! Ha! Shouted Abdullah from the top bunk. Then it's not a definite, is it? And besides, ants can communicate. They can!